Hello everyone, this is Oblivion and welcome back to another episode of Liminal Industries. So in the last episode we set up the arc furnace and the confusing powder, and in this episode we're going to focus on the other component of the reality alloy, which is the Terrasteel. So we go look at one of these. We need lead, confusing powder, arc furnace, and Terrasteel. And to make Terrasteel you need the agglomeration plate. So the agglomeration plate is a 3x3 multi-block. It requires 4 lapis blocks as the in-world component, and obviously 3 lapis blocks as the ingredients. And I think these are all lapis, and this is also lapis. So I know that we need around a little over a stack. We also need to make the other runes. So far in this pack, we've made the water rune, the earth rune, and the air rune. And next thing that we need is the rune of mana and the rune of fire, which we should be able to do. So netherwort, I believe, if I grab these guys, we should be able to get at least one netherwort from this. Maybe instead of crushing... So this is a 25% chance. That gives 9 every time. Multi-servo press and an unpacking die. How do I make an unpacking die? Constantan and Invar. Pretty sure Invar is pretty easy. Do I have any Invar actually? Invar. Alloy kiln, nickel and iron. Do I have any nickel? There we go. And then Constantan should be also pretty easy. Nickel and copper. And I already have some copper in my inventory, surely. Then we go this, and then we do that. I don't know if it gives 1 or 2. Gives 2. Maybe we don't need both. Unpacking die. A. Okay, pretty easy. And then we need this. I don't actually need both sets of these. What else can I use Constantan for? There's a dynamo. Seems like not much. What about the plates? The plates aren't used for that much either. So let's chuck these away in there because I'm probably never going to use them again. And then we chuck them in here. Do I have the augment? Yes, I do. And then we can put this in there. And then we should be able to do the unpacking die like so. Chuck that in there and then that in there. Perfect. That is a lot of netherwort. Probably more than we'll ever need. But it's a better output than what putting in the crusher would give us. I don't know why I put all of it away. I need 1 still. So, what would we be looking at? Rune of Fire. So, steel, mana ingot, nether brick, and gunpowder. We have nether brick, we have gunpowder. Very nice. What else do we need for this? Just a bunch of mana steel and a mana pearl. Do I have echo shards is the question. I do have an echo shard. Grab this, and we should get downstairs. So between episodes I set up more of these and we filled up a mana pool, which is pretty easy. Also, this is the easiest way to set up a system, so if there's an item on the pressure plate, it stops it from dropping more. Now, what are we doing? We need living rock. Very nice. We need this and this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this requires 1, so we need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chuck all that in there. The mana one requires the mana pearl, which is this. The fire one requires mana powder, so we can turn a piece of sugar into mana powder. There we go. And then we should be able to get going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bang. Oh, we gotta wait for the there we go. Rune of Fire. And then we should be able to get the Rune of Mana, which is just 5 of these. And then one of these. Wait for it to fill up. And we chuck that on there and hit it with this. Very nice. Then we need a whole bunch of lapis, which I have the sulfur for, and what else is required in lapis? Blue dye, right? So if I look in here, we should have tall flowers. We should be able to place some of them, and bone meal. Very nice. We should also be able to turn blue dye and grab some more. Leave one in the bag. Do that and that. Now we're going to spend a bunch of time filling this cauldron up. There. And then how do we do this again? We need to sulfur, stir twice, and then blue dye. Come on. Sulfur. 1, 2, blue dye. Very nice. Sulfur. One, 2, blue dye. And I think I will cut back to when I have all of it done. And we are almost there. Last batch. And I failed it. Yep, that didn't work. Anyways, I think that'll be enough. It's funny how the batch that I try put on camera doesn't work. Anyways, so we should be able to do this like so. Chuck that in there. Actually, we might have enough with these. So if we look at this, we need the empowered crystal. So we need 3 prismarine shards and a palace crystal. So prismarine shards are just this, or not. I thought they were that. No. You haunt them. And it seems like it's not a 100% chance. Okay. Time to go haunt some lapis. We go over here to the haunting setup. There we go. How many did we get? We got 6. That's great. We only need 3. And we should be able to do cyan dye. So green and blue. Do I have any green dye? Do I have a cactus? Oh, I don't need a cactus. I can use flowers. That's right. So we could use this. One of those. And one of these. Like that. We want to chuck this guy away. And then we want to go over to our atomic reconstructor to create a crystal. Bada bing, bada boom. Like so. While we're over here, I know for a fact that we need a redstone and a diamond crystal for later. Well, but one of them worked, the other one didn't. Okay. Diamond, please. There we go. That's for later. Ow. Now, we can empower the Palace Crystal with the cyan and the prismarine. I didn't grab the prismarine out of the barrel. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. We got the Empowered Palace, and now we should be able to make the agglomeration plate. There we go. And as far as I understand, I also need a, what is it? I need 2 Matter Diamonds, 2 Echo Shards. So, 2 of these, 2 of these. If I go check our Britannia book, which is downstairs. There it is. If I check in this, and then I go look at Terrasteel. Requires that. Mana Diamond, Mana Steel, Mana Pearl. Yep. So 2 of each of these, and it will require some sculk scrubbing. So if I grab this guy, can I use this in an arc furnace? It must be a blast furnace? I could use a pyrolyzer. Yeah, I could make one of those. Actually, do I have another blaze? How do I make those other soul shards? Okay, so we could make some higher tier soul shards, do a blaze, do a pyrolyzer, and then extract from there. That sounds like a plan. And we also need some nether bricks, so we want 8 of these. We want one of these. We want one of these. And we want a bunch of quartz dust, like that. Very nice. We can put that in there. We can put these away. Let's go over to our crystallizer setup. Okay, down here we want our lesser gems. We want quartz. Let's turn off our output. Pick that up. What? Why did I get a soul shard? There we go. Now, I don't think I need this right now because I have plenty of those. So I could just let this run. Let's do that. And then we want to summon the blaze, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's my flint and flint? Like so. Ow. Then we have a snack. And then we can do that. We should be able to do pyrolyzer, which we are missing a redstone coil. So if I craft one of this, craft this, craft this. Perfect. So we can stick this guy down with all the other machines right here. We can go put a LV thingamajig. LV regular backpack. Do we really have no LV connectors? Let's make some more. There we go. So we put that there, we connect that there, chuck that in the backpack. We now have power. I should be able to grab the augmentation, stick that in there, and then do this. Very nice. We got 2 echo shards. So we can turn that into 2 mana pearls. And apparently we need to make some sparks. So if I chuck these in here, perfect. So we have 2 each of these guys. We should have the living rock. Let's do our Terrasteel like right here. Very nice. Stick that there. And then, how do you make sparks? I believe there's going to be sparks here. Sparks are interesting things created from raw energy and mana. Some blocks have the ability to harness mana from sparks. Can remove a spark, use a wand of the forest. Sparks are just crafted with blaze powder and nuggets and some petals. Well, the funny thing is, I literally just made... That's a lot of petals. I literally just made a blaze rod, so actually, I should be able to crush this, right? Does a pulverizer give me a better recipe? Not really, it's only 3. Oh, you could get netherwort from that if you needed to. Potentially, if I chuck it in a crusher, I have a 25% chance of doubling it. Do I want to do that? How many sparks do I need? I need 2 sparks, right? Each of them take... Okay, so I need to get lucky. So if I don't get lucky, I have to go do another blaze summon. Let's see. Am I going to be lucky? Okay, well, obviously missed it. I got lucky. That is 4, and that is exactly as many as I need. Perfect. Spark. 1, 2. Very nice. Now we should be able to do this and this. And then 1, 2, 3. And I believe this should take half of this mana pool. So if I look at it with the wand, we'll see it takes basically everything. Very nice. And then we can do another one. There we go. Perfect. How are we for time? We haven't even gotten close to doing a whole episode and we're basically done what I wanted to do. What's something I could do now? So we have our Terrasteel. What else did I finish? Did I finish a different quest? I did. Oh, I got a second Skulk Scrubber for free? Nice. I didn't really need that. Next thing that we need is, I guess, the inscriber and the charger. So we need a crystallizer for Certus quartz. Actually, that's the reason that I got so much quartz over here. Let's go pick up our lesser thingamajigs. Very nice. Let's go and put this back to what it was. I don't know if it was auto eject. I don't think it matters. We should be able to put these away. Put... what else? I think that's it. And then I should be able to chuck all of this into the mana pool to get the Certus quartz dust. Very nice. And then I need a crystallizer and a charging station. So if I come up here and I look up for crystallizer, we need to make 2 of these. 1, 2. We need a metal barrel, which sheet metal, those, that. Is that enough? Yes. And then external heater, we have no copper sheets apparently. Let's do that, and then grab copper sheets, which I should set to a stack. Any of these need to be a stack? I don't know if gold needs to be a stack. I haven't automated that though. So, stick that in there. Crystallizer. We want this guy. And then we want that, which we need some of these for. Okay, stick that in there. We have a fresh crystallizer. We just need a pump and an infinite water source. That. We need 2 buckets of water. 1, 2. And then we should be able to put... Do I want everything off of this guy? I could do it off one of these guys. Let's do it there. Sure. Ow. That's interesting. I wasn't entirely aware that water breaks that multi-block. Anyways. Oops. Stick these in there. And barrel, maybe? Barrel. We can stick all of this in there. Nice. Now let's not put the thing right next to that. I kind of want to put it over here. Let's do this. I have an idea. So we want this. Nope, not there. Where's my wrench? Wrench there, pointing upwards. Perfect. Okay, We do that, and we do this. Why was that water acting funny? And then we do power like this. Nope. And we can do this. Perfect. So that gets water into this guy. And then we want to do power from the back for a particular reason. We do this. We do... no. Wire. LV wire. Like this. Can we do this? No. Can we do this? Yes. Okay, we now have power. Who has my augmentation? There we go. We want to put the sculk scrubbers away. Then we want to put that in there, and we want to dump it to the top. Where's my thingamajig? There it is. And then we want to do charge this guy. So we do this, and then we do this. We do a barrel. Actually, I don't know if we even need a barrel because the hopper probably has enough inventory space. Anyways, if I do that, can that force it upwards? Yes, it can. Aha. And then if I do this and this, then we can start charging the crystals directly. Charged. And then I can put the upper right on top. There we go. So we've automated Certus quartz dust into charged Certus quartz, which is great. Now, actually, it turns out I need some uncharged ones. Don't really want to take it out of that one. That's a non-charged one. Calculation processor. I need the inscriber, which should be in here. Is that right? So if I look at this, where is it? This guy. So printed silicon. How do I get silicon? Do I need the sag mill or can I use something else? I think it's going to be this one, right? Blasting. Okay. So you can blast that into silicon. That's pretty easy. Printed calculation. Inscriber calculation press. So inscriber calculation press. We want this guy. And we want one of these. We should really have the... because we've done all of this, right? We haven't done that. Okay. ME controller, that's the one that we want. So as I said, diamantine and redstonia crystal are required. We have those. We don't have these. These are pretty easy though. Oh, crystallizer. Printed circuit board. Then we need to do some more of this. Have I got that over a stack? No, I don't. I wonder why it's... it might look higher because there's an inventory that's visible but not deliverable. Okay, chuck that in there. Very nice. We should be able to blast some of it to make the silicon. So, where's this guy? Do this, block this, put that back in there, put that on there. And then Annihilation core, and what's the other core? This one? Okay, do I have regular circuits? I do. I want my silicon, please. Thank you. Very nice. Let's close that out. Now, inscriber is something that I need. 2 of these, please. Then I need 2 sticky pistons. Do I have more of those slimy things? I think I am definitely over time. I have a slime block, which I apparently can't unpack. What? Unpacking die, please. Very nice. We have pistons. We want 2 sticky pistons. We want... I have no copper, apparently. Strange. Give me some copper, please. That's going to take a moment. What else do we need? We're so close, I can feel it. Engineering circuit. We want... probably just to put all of these in there. Engineering press. Is that the right one? Yes. Stick that in there. Do a diamond. Like so. Grab our copper. Very nice. Chuck that in there. Inscriber, please. Cool. Then all we need to do is this and this and this. So now this has power, as far as I can tell. We have that. We need this one, which is inscriber silicon press, like this. Very nice. Then we can chuck that and redstone. Like that. Awesome. Engineering processor. Annihilation core requires fluix crystals, which requires this. Do we have skystone dust? I should be able to just chuck this in the crusher and get skystone dust. Is there anything else I need from the system? Can I have that back, please? I don't know if I got any skystone dust. There we go. So we have skystone dust. Okay. We need this in here. Very nice. Then we need to crush both of them. So 2 of this into the crusher. Oops. Fluix. Very nice. And we should be able to make a annihilation core. If I had my quartz on me. This guy. Then we should be able to make this guy. we should be able to make this. Oh, they need to be empowered. Okay, well, I think we got pretty far this episode. And I think that is where we will stop. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.